the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome back, Star Trek Fleet Command fans. Happy you're here. Glad you're at the channel. And today, I want to cover a ship. Actually, right there. Is it worth it? The Sarcophagus. And I ended up doing a lot of these type of videos because I want new players and existing players in the game to know if something is worth it, if it has value, and if so, what can you do with it? What should you do with it? And short answer, because I know there's people out there, shout out to the Reddit, who just want the straight answer, is the Sarcophagus worth it? No, the answer is no, it is not. It is terrible. I'll go over why in this video. But let's talk about the Sarcophagus, what it is, how to get it, and what you should do or do not with it. So the Sarcophagus is pretty simple. If those who've watched season 1 of Discovery, you'll recognize it as the Klingon Burial ship. And what we use it for in Star Trek Fleet Command is actually territory capture. Now, I'm not against the model or anything like that. And even for now, at the time of me making this video, it's not expensive to upgrade. I mean, I know that's a relative statement with specialty ships, but there you go is the total upgrade cost of a Sarcophagus. And there was a time where you go, wow, that's just so much. Look at those uncommon ship parts. But truthfully, if you're playing the game now in the modern age of this game, that's honestly not a lot. An example is, a Gorn Eviscerator, for example, takes over 1 million uncommon for one of its sets. So this is really not that bad. The biggest issue is going to be the uncommon ship part grind, but thankfully it's not the rare ship part grind. So it's honestly not too bad. So that shouldn't be a reason that a player avoids it, is the cost. It's also going to be one of those things like how much usability does it actually have? In terms of like going after the Sarcophagus, if you build it, well, the way to get it is on Saturdays through your cosmic cleanups that happen in the events. And that's just something that you pay attention to every Saturday, and you can run it through on there, but it's not necessarily special or unique or, worth going after in an event store when we have those every, 2, 3, 4 months. So there you go. That's how to acquire it. Cosmic cleanup or event stores. But what do I do if I want to do upgrades, things like that? Because it does take special currencies to repair and currencies used. If you'll come down here to your, let's see, was it territory menu? You'll find your fortified Baconite right there, the forge. This is so you can get your repair currency for it. It does cost raw 1-star isogen, which many of you will have plenty of here. So repairing it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but you do want to keep that in mind because if you do decide to go out and use this bad boy, I'm going to use it to grind 3 level 3 hostiles. Because I honestly don't use it. But if you do choose to do that, well, that gives you the ability to actually repair it should you need. And that one probably, didn't do anything. But I do want you to see the little marker here of the Baconite, because you know that you have a different currency to repair the ship. The main point of the Sarcophagus when it came out was for you to take it to territory battles and use it to, win those fights. I'm actually going to use, say, this system. Let's send it out there and throw it on one of those capture defense nodes. So the bonus of the Sarcophagus, or the abilities of the Sarcophagus, all come down to it being effective on a node, which is this ability right here, close quarters combat. Now that's going to be based on the level of the Sarcophagus. You can see I've got mine at tier 10, level 45. When attacking or defending on a capture or mining node, it does work on all node types. In an active takeover, the Sarcophagus weapon damage is increased by 200,000%. And I will say that with combinations of isolated damage and criticals, it can get kind of strong. One big issue that early players and early level players will find is it's slow. And this is with me having all my G4 researches kind of already unlocked. It takes a long time to get here. To compensate for that, they came out with a cloak for this, which does make sense canonically. So I don't have any issue with cloaking the Sarcophagus. The Sarcophagus can cloak, and it is a Klingon ship. The whole point is to get it on these nodes. The difficult thing about the Sarcophagus is when it came out, it kind of became instantly dated. It wasn't very long before it came out that you started just seeing so many other ships that simply had better value. It doesn't mean that it shouldn't be used, I guess, or acquired But even last year, I made a video about the sarcophagus. And I made a video about the sarcophagus the year before that, 2022. 2023, I said, hey, you can use it in certain situations. And now I'm kind of going in an even different direction now. Why am I going in a different direction now? Well, simply because the sarcophagus has kind of reached the point, finally, where it doesn't have any value at all. There's only one set of servers that can have value from the sarcophagus, and that are brand new servers that have a level cap of 39. Then the sarcophagus can do what I'm showing right here quite well, and that can be okay. But for the majority of the game, that's going to be an issue. Now, why do I bring this up? Because so many players in the 20s and 30s, as they're going through what they should do, a lot of you are also looking at, okay, well, what things can I skip? The sarcophagus being one of those options. Mainly because, again, you want to save these ship parts. Those ship parts would have affected my Tribune, my Katinga, would have slowed me down. And the uncommon ore and stuff I'm obviously going to need for my base upgrades. Prices have gotten much lower now, as in it's a lot easier to upgrade these through all the researches that you can have in the game. I'm going to go ahead and recall it, but you can also compare it power-wise. I mean, obviously I haven't maxed it out, but tier 10 you would think is going to be, oh, Sleepy Sheep apparently wanted to come by and see my sarcophagus, but it's not something that you're going to have a lot of active value for. But what you can do with those different costs is use it as an upgrade ship. That's why mine's actually tier 10, is I've been using it to upgrade with as I've been getting closer and closer to getting higher level. You look for things that you can dump materials in. I do want to point out some of the cost of doing that. So even with my research and everything, the cost is still a little bit high, but not terrible. You still need 8,000 of those ship parts. Like I said, that's going to be your big bottleneck. And you also, of course, need to go get that Duranium, which means that you need an alliance to activate the Duranium Forge, that you can go and get this. And I don't know how many alliances would choose to invest those materials, especially newer alliances on newer servers where you need to pick out which things actually matter. Well, if we're talking about things like, Monavine blueprints and, ISS Jelly blueprints, those services have far more valuable or far more value than this. Right? If you have the actual service active. And as you saw with our alliance, we don't. The main benefit to getting a sarcophagus in today's game is pretty simple. You're going to do it to simply score in events. When you have things like, events that allow you to spend or go out, spend ship XP if you want to do it that way, or spend events like leaderboards to go in and dump materials into. But other than that, sarcophagus has finally reached a point where it really has no value to the game at all anymore. I made a slight argument last year that it kind of still had a little bit of relevance for some. But I think we finally reached that point where this one doesn't. And the reason I'm making this video now here in 2024 is because I want players to find things that they don't need to do so that they don't have the pressure of it. We talk about how can we lessen clicks in the game and things like that. Well, the truth is, there are pieces of dead content. This is kind of my dead content series, if you will. And they did release a research to try to, maybe make this slightly better. Problem is that research sucks. Now the problem is I actually got to find the research top of my head. You go into your territory tree, you scroll on down, you're going to find, let's see, where is it at? Right here, no weak spots. If you even maxed this out, this mitigation stat booster for the Sarco at 210%, you're getting literally zero net effect. It's not actually improving your game. It's not making the Sarco better. Truth is, the Sarco is dead content. So here in 2024, what is dead content? Well, this is part of the dead content series. That is, in fact, dead content. I will go over other pieces of dead content and talk about what those things were originally, like if they had value. The sarcophagus at the time did have value in your territory capture. Maybe something that we can go over that's affecting more and more players as they level up is this right here, the beta sector, and the researches that apply to the beta sector. There are specific researches in your combat tree. Actually, had somebody in my alliance ask about these just recently. Scroll on down, you will find right here these. So we'll discuss those maybe in another video. But sarcophagus, outdated content until Scopa decides to update it. We'll see if they do. I would love them to focus on updates versus new content. You let me know what you think about in the comment section below, and let me know if you're like one of the only people left in the game who uses their Sarco for anything other than SLB spending and maybe, I don't know, dip XP spending? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Hope you enjoyed the video. Live long and plunder. Stay safe with those space cowboys. Deuces. That's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek Fleet Command video. And we are out. I don't know why I decided to do that. I'm just in a mood.